Hi everyone, welcome back to another lesson with RiverKids Live. I'm really excited to have you with us today. And I have a question for you. I am wondering, have you ever had something unexpected happen to you? I think most of us, especially right now, can say yes. We've definitely had some unexpected things happening to us. So, I just have unexpected things happening right now because I have people coming in and out of my house. So there are always unexpected things happening. But one thing that was unexpected for me yesterday was to wake up and find the ground covered in snow. That was unexpected. I thought it was springtime. And all of a sudden we had like 3 inches of snow at our house. That was unexpected for me. It was kind of unexpected that all of a sudden all of us had to stay home all the time. That was very unexpected. So last week in our Bible story, we had some people who had something unexpected happen to them. They were going to see Jesus' tomb, and they were expecting to find his body there, and they were expecting to do some things to take care of his body. But when they got to the grave, Jesus wasn't there anymore. And an angel told them, he's not here, he's alive. That was very unexpected. So our story this week picks up just very soon after that. So these ladies that had gone to see Jesus had just seen the angel who told them, he's not here, he's risen. That was a surprise. And now, this week, we have a story about 2 guys who had been some followers of Jesus who were walking along the road, and something very unexpected happens to them. So listen while I read to you about this story of something unexpected. So that same day, the ladies saw the angel at the grave, 2 of Jesus' followers were walking to the village of Emmaus, 7 miles from Jerusalem. That's a long walk. As they walked along, they were talking about everything that had happened because it had been a very busy week. As they talked and discussed these things, Jesus himself was suddenly walking with them, but God kept them from recognizing him. So he asked them, "What are you discussing so intently as you walk along?" They stopped short, sadness written across their faces because they didn't know yet that Jesus was alive. Then one of them, Cleopas, replied, "You must be the only person in Jerusalem who hasn't heard about all the things that have happened in the last few days." "What things?" Jesus asked. "The things that happened to Jesus, the man from Nazareth," they said. "He was a prophet who did powerful miracles, and he was a mighty teacher in the eyes of God and all the people. But our leading priests and other religious leaders handed him over to be condemned to death, and they crucified him. We had hoped that he was the Messiah who would come to rescue Israel. All this happened 3 days ago. Then some women from our group of his followers were at his tomb early this morning, and they came back with an amazing report. They said his body was missing, and they had seen angels who told them Jesus was alive. Some of our men ran out to see, and sure enough, his body was gone, just as the women had said." Then Jesus said to them, "You foolish people, you find it so hard to believe all that the prophets wrote in the scriptures. Wasn't it clearly predicted that the Messiah would have to suffer all these things before entering his glory? Then Jesus took them through the writings of Moses and all the prophets and explained from the scriptures all the things concerning himself. By this time, they were nearing Emmaus and at the end of their journey. Jesus acted as if he were going on, but they begged him, "Stay the night with us." So he went home with them. As they sat down to eat, he took the bread and blessed it. Then he broke it and gave it to them. Suddenly, their eyes were opened and they recognized him. At that moment, he disappeared. They said to each other, "Didn't our hearts burn within us as he talked with us on the road and explained the scriptures to us?" And within the hour, they were on their way back to Jerusalem. There they found the 11 disciples and the others who had gathered with them, who said, "The Lord has really risen. He appeared to Peter." Then the two from Emmaus told their story of how Jesus had appeared to them as they were walking along the road and how they had recognized him as they were breaking bread. So many unexpected things happening. But this is how Jesus was telling people the good news, that he was alive. And now, as people were finding out, they were going and telling all of the people that they knew. So this week, our lesson is about two men who met Jesus. And so if you download the pages, you can see the story about the men who met Jesus. And we have some worksheets that we can do. So this is the younger kid worksheet. And this one has a little puzzle that says connect the words. And so if we take a look, we can see that there are some shapes here. And if we connect the shapes that match, where's the other square? There it is. So let's see. Get my little Sharpie out here. And I've got God loved. Let's see, where are we going next? The world. Let's see if we can match up this one. And here's the circle. Sent his son. God loved the world and sent his son. Then on the bottom half of this page for the younger kids, it says, "Look at bread." The two men recognized Jesus when he broke bread and prayed over it. Circle the kinds of bread you have tried before. Put an X on your favorite bread. I feel like I've tried almost every kind of this bread, but I think my favorite one is a blueberry muffin. So I'm going to put an X on the blueberry muffin because it said put an X on your favorite kind of bread. If we look at the pages for older kids, of course, we have some puzzles because we have puzzles almost every week. So the verse for this unit is Jesus told him, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." And it says Jesus is alive. Find ways you can know Jesus is alive. Use the letters on the green balloons to complete the sentence for number 1. Do the same thing with the blue balloons for number 2 and the orange balloons for number 3. So I'm going to do number 3 because that's the shortest one, and I'm going to let you guys do number 1 and 2 on your own. So Jesus, let's see, there are 3 orange balloons, an E, a T, and an A. Jesus, I'm going to say A, T, E. Jesus ate bread and other food. Down at the bottom, it says some people already know that Jesus is alive. Some people still need to know. So you can think of 2 people that you can tell who might not already know that Jesus is alive, and you can put their names there. We have one other older kids page. This one has our unit verse at the top of it again. Ooh, this one says, here's a challenge for both sides of your brain. Finish each sentence twice. Once so that is 100% true, and once so that it is 100% false. Then maybe you could quiz your brothers and sisters and see if they can figure out which one is true and which one is false. And then this one is also a backwards and forwards one. It says downside up and upside down. So you can read about that and see how to finish this. So, in the older kids lesson, it talks a little bit about Thomas. Down here, there's a little story about Thomas because he was skeptical. He knew that it was very unexpected that Jesus would be alive, and he was like, you know what? I can't believe that at all. That's not a thing that happens. And so what happened was Jesus appeared to them, and he showed Thomas that he was alive. This says Thomas wasn't the only one who questioned if Jesus was alive. The other disciples also had trouble believing. So you can look up Luke 24:36 through 43 and see how Jesus proved that he was not a ghost. So you can look that up later on your own. So thanks for joining me today, and I want you to remember, even though it was very unexpected that Jesus was alive and everyone was surprised to see it, it was still really good news. So have a great week, and I'll see you again next week for another RiverKids lesson.